Yes, this does look like a fast format to those suggesting it here. Um, yeah, I do wonder. It's wonderful to have a celebration of 5 years of the weekly Shogi ladder. Our ability to, or which focused, it's on 81 Dojo. It provides us an opportunity to play games with each other and um, hang on. In playing such games, we can communicate, we can review games together and learn to play better as a community. Um, that predominantly runs on 81 Dojo. So I am somewhat pensive about playing on in this event on this site. One, because the format's a bit fast, and two, because I am not the big fish in this tournament. Not even close. So, although I've got Zen mode on, well, okay, notifications let me know who my opponent's username is. We'll pretend we didn't know that. Let's see. I forget how this opening goes. Which is a familiar chorus, is it not? So as long as I keep my rook on a square where there's no king-rook fork, I can do a lot of interesting things. So I can defend this fork. As long as there's no king-rook fork, I'm okay. So I've prevented their pawn from advancing. What do I do here? I don't know. Something. Oh, why? Yeah, the reason I moved the rook is because they attacked my rook and pawn. Um, it's not necessarily because I want to keep the rook here. I certainly do not. If the silver advances, I have tactics. If the silver does not advance, we just shuffle a bit until I get my tactics somewhere. Somehow. Alright, so I mentioned I would get a tactic somehow, somewhere. There's a tactic. I spotted one tactic. And I'm already in hot water. The silver can chase my rook. If my rook retreats, bishop takes. Thankfully, I just noticed I can move the rook sideways. Yes, clearly I am planning super far in advance here. Okay, we'll sidestep the silver. And maybe move my silver to the center square. If the silver moves away from this pawn, I can move my rook back and pick it up. I sure love putting my rook in the center of the board, just to make things exciting. Attack is the best defense. And I'm trying to attack, but my opponent is defending well. They played a pawn sacrifice. But they cannot defend forever, even as I struggle to find an attack. Having a bishop in hand means I'm constantly feigning threats, most of which will never work. But all it takes is one that does work, and suddenly we're good. Um, Once again, I corner my own rook. However, it seems fine. I can take this. Do I want it? We all know I do, but how much do I want it? I can't say no to that. We're taking it. I don't know where my audio went. Don't mind me. Now I have 2 useless bishops to drop. Wonderful. I think I see a tactic. Bishop takes pawn is my threat. And you might say, wait, the rook can defend this. Well, I've been thinking about this for about 10 turns now. And if the rook defends it, I finally have a second piece I can use to move that rook. Alright, there we go. Invasion has occurred. There's the other bishop invading. Kind of do want that, but I don't want to give my opponent a rook in hand. If I back off, do I lose my rook for nothing? It's messy. No, I can move my rook over here to the same file that has my bishops. There is a way out. As long as I don't give my opponent more pieces to attack me. Just double check. Yeah, my overlay looks fine. Attack is the best defense, but my attack is so slow. It's pitiful. On the other hand, I have picked up some material. I wonder if this proverb could be revised somehow to be more general. To apply even in this sort of situation where the opponent has sacrificed material to get an initiative, but the initiative runs out. And I just keep taking stuff. Like, yeah, it is absolutely important to attack, but here I am picking up little pieces here and there. Which isn't really what this proverb is about. Or maybe it is. Let's drop... I don't know. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. I've cornered my opponent's rook. Um, that's actually really smart. I didn't see that coming. Don't run from a fork, they say. Okay. You get my horse. Can't stop it. This is a disaster. Probably gonna lose this game somehow. Let's run away from this attack. If only because bishop drop on the back rank is pretty serious. So, I did happen to see a notification indicating my opponent's name, and I saw from early in the tournament what their Lee Shogi rating is. They are also, at least by Lee Shogi rating, not a favorite to win the event. And yet I'm getting beaten up over here against one of the players who hasn't paused. Imagine once I get paired with our opening experts um, and other really strong players. Just imagine how successful I will be. Nani? I'm taking that. Okay. What's the point? Like, yeah, I would enjoy blocking this bishop here. But also, I don't see what my opponent is doing. I can take the silver. Do I live if I take it? Or should I take that piece instead? Knight drop. Yeah. Scary. Alright, let's try this. Attack is the best defense, they say. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I guess I'm maintaining that defense is the best defense. But I'm not doing so hot here. I'm dead. There's no escape. Maybe in some sense it's fun to watch my own demise here. Silver takes, bishop takes looks possible. Giving away more material so that I don't immediately perish. But then the bishop drop happens and I lose my rook. Oh, that's not check. Okay. What a wild ride. So I can't take that. I can, but there are some pretty hefty consequences if I take that. Um, Wait, is that actually mate? I thought I looked at this and I thought I was fine. Well, we'll find out. Stay tuned. To find out if I can play defense. And if so, if playing defense actually holds here. Pawn drop, etc. They're going to walk my king up the board until I can find a way to break it. I don't see a way to break... Oh, never mind. I think they could have just kept that pattern going. Regardless, I will save my rook. So we repeat a position, except with me gaining a piece. Um, hmm. Alright, I've been delaying doing this because I don't think it does anything, but I don't know what else to try here. I offer my rook for 2 pieces. They can win my silver now. They don't. I'm sorry, they had a rook drop here, hitting my bishop and my gold. I don't know how I would have responded to that. Alright, so I continue attacking. And I continue again. And I have overwhelming force. And now I have a rook in hand. So, okay, thanks for the game. Yep. So there we're not a favorite. Like, we've got Koshiro playing. We have a dark horse by the name of Dark Matter, who's a new entrant. At least rating-wise. Wait a second. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that include me? No, 4 plus me. And one more. Yeah, possibly like 7 people playing who are not paused at the moment. Yeah, if you can get a critical mass to get a tournament going, you can do a lot of amazing things on the site. Getting a critical mass instance, sustaining it for a 3-hour period is a bit tricky. Welcome. So, yeah, on the right here we see Koshiro. I think on Shogi Wars he's 4 Dan. I forget his rank on 81 Dojo, but extremely strong player. So we get to witness some of that. Here we see Dark Matter has a perfect win streak throughout the event. Gerardov has an even record throughout the event. Shogi explained played some games earlier. We have many players all tied at 4 points. Yeah, and I'm awaiting a game. However, everybody seems to be paused, and oh, here we go. Good luck. Oh, I go first, right? There's nothing telling me you are Sente. No. I had to intuit from the ticking timer that wasn't actually ticking that it is my move. So I go first. Alright. It's been a second since I've played more regularly on this site, or even 81 Dojo. But even on 81 Dojo, the timer counts from the outset, from the instant the game starts. Alright, so... Ah, my opponent is playing Central File Rook. I'm a bit confused. I've played Central File Rook this way before. However, moving the rook forward doesn't usually yield a lot of opportunity unless the opponent blunders. Usually the rook isn't able on its own to go fighting. Wait a second. Are we going to see the forbidden... Not forbidden. Our favorite castle. Are we going to see that one here today? I have a suspicion. Let's push. Yep, there it is. Crap. Everyone's favorite. Alright, so let's make this interesting, shall we? I sacrifice a pawn to throw the position into chaos. I take a pawn, since they didn't, you know, sacrifice didn't end up being a sacrifice. I sacrifice again, because I see I can promote my bishop. Yeah, attack is the best defense, once more. Even if it costs a pawn. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. I guess that's fine. Let's promote over here. Yeah, I did mention that opening theory is a prominent weakness of mine, and a format where we have 5 minutes plus Byoyomi puts me in a little bit of a pinch, since I want to keep moving and not get an extreme time pressure every single game. Alright, I hit the horse. Horse takes pawn. I don't know what way I go here next. Probably silver takes gold. Oh. Wait a second. Wait a second. Um... Free pieces are nice, too. Yeah, I wasn't just gonna sit back and let them build this. And then figure out the rest of their game. Never interrupt an opponent while they are making a mistake. So the horse defends this pawn. At least this turn. It also attacks this pawn. They might chase my rook, and I might have to exchange it for a gold plus whatever else I can get. Actually, if they push, if I take... if they do an in-between move taking this gold, I do another in-between move taking the other gold. If the silver moves, exchange here, exchange, I take the second gold. Yeah. Whereas through this move order, my rook escapes. Do I want the bishop? Not that much. I mean... Where are the horse girls? Oh, we got horses on this board. I don't know their gender. I'm not judging. Um... Right, let's put this rook on this open file. And put this rook on this open file. It's important to use your pieces in Shogi. Oh, I'm threatening pawn drop here. Oh, you're right, the file's only half open. My mistake. Oh, I've one pawn. Oh, man. How unfortunate. This is tense. Oh, that's a pawn. That is a free pawn. That is such a free pawn. Oh, we're playing Space Invaders here, folks. But if I miss one target, my game ends. This would be a lot safer if I could just get a rook into this camp at the top of the board and start mowing the pieces down. Be a lot safer that way. Of course, it'd be even safer if I could figure out how to checkmate this shape, but, you know, skill issue. I see pawn drop, silver takes, rook takes, and I'm in. But they see this too, and they're going to do everything they can to make counterattacks and or defenses against it. Yes. Yeah, this is a nice shape. It's even better if you can get these golds right next to it. But there's going to be one precarious moment where these golds are separated. Or it's just going to take a second to get set up. So I'm going to try to seize the moment while I can there. Oh my gosh. That's not what I was looking forward to here. I made it easier for them. Fine. I'll attack on this flank instead. I'll take this pawn. That's a different way in. The silver's hanging. They can't move the silver and defend the pawn. Yeah, my taking the pawn doesn't do a whole lot of good. But it's better than not taking it, so let's go. Wait, can I take this pawn and mate them? Depends. They have a gold general in hand. It's not that easy for me to win. So I go back. I keep hitting and hitting and hitting. My king is abandoned. I've got an empty goal. Um, Alright, I promote. Yep. Of course, now I don't have my pieces lined up with their king. Still trying to invade. Okay, all their pieces are on the board. No. Um, I sidestep the silver. Sidestep again. This is a journey of 1,000 sidesteps. Each time I'm taking one piece, and then they line up all the rest of their pieces for me to keep taking things. Hmm? So I want to move this and break in further. I also want to take this knight. It's another free piece. Now I can drop the knight and further bust up their castle. Um, Regrettably, I don't have better than taking the silver here, which allows them a counterattack, which I can immediately put out, but still, like, having to deal with this kind of sucks. Um, if they keep chasing the rook with like their pieces, I'm just going to mate them. I know I've been threatening that over and over and over again, but eventually I'll find a way. It's unfortunate this horse is directly where it's at. Um, oh, I can finally displace it. How optimistic am I? Let's go. This is hopefully not a terrible idea. Wait, knight takes, of course. Wait, I could have taken this horse. I don't want it. I don't want your damn horse. I want the king instead. But no, we'll take the horse. Yeah. Okay, so I've captured all my opponent's pieces. Is this the resignation moment? Not quite. How do I best make progress here? Of course they cut the diagonal. I saw that after I moved. Um, hmm. Check. 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 Sometimes even I can find a checkmate. Check. Check. Oh, this is Lily. Oh man, that's rough. Lily's at least 3 Dan on 81 Dojo. She's very strong. I caught her by surprise at some moment. Oh wow. I was expecting to get my rear end handed to me by Lily. She's definitely got the skill to be able to do that. I got lucky. What can you say? Good luck. Whew. Yep. All right. Enjoy. So, if the trend is any indication, um, I'm either going to get a really high pairing or a really low pairing. That's how Lichess's pairing system, which is copied on others' websites, works. I've complained endlessly about ways to improve pairing stability, but my words fall on deaf ears, as I'm unable to prove that my suggestions would actually yield better pairings unless you actually implement them and see that I'm right. But yeah, I guess in this case it might not matter much. On Lichess, however, where there's tournaments and players have points as well as ranks, it would help if the points they scored, as opposed to just the ranks they have, were weighted to help determine pairings. Okay, this is kind of, well, we'll see where we end up here. Yep, I'm playing everybody's favorite castle because my opponent is just not attacking. They might start attacking me now. But yeah, they built up a strong defensive shape. Maybe I'm envious. I don't know. The horse girls. Well, last game we had 2 horses on the board. I couldn't say whether they were girls or not. No, I play in Zen mode. I did not know until the game concluded who my opponent was. I was more than a bit confused because somehow I had gotten an advantage, and My opponent put up an incredible amount of resistance. I didn't understand what was going on. But yeah, seeing at the end of the game, oh, that was Lily. That gave me a big clue. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, I mean, yeah. I think Lily would have had greater incentive to kick my butt if this tournament were rated. I'm not so sure things would have turned out the same way. I don't want to block my bishop. This is not good. I don't see a single hole anywhere in this shape. Which tells me I'm about to get dunked on. The thing is, like, they built a really solid shape, but they're playing... Like, why play this rook move? Unless you're doing Spearing the Sparrow or something. It's probably Z-Kid, if I had to guess. Either that, or it's somebody that is not a rating favorite. We'll find out later. Yeah, like if I wanted to show that information, I could show it. It's usually distracting to have that. Um, Pawn takes... I don't know how this turns out. I have to take it. They are moving super fast. Um, so either I've got Z-Kid on the ropes, or this is not Z-Kid. uh, the suspense. So much suspense. Hmm. Right, I forgot I have 30 more seconds to think here. It's not going to change my move, but maybe I can look ahead. Who am I kidding? I'm not that good. Um, Bishop up is the thing I don't like about this. Mm. Hmm. One of us. One of us. Um. Oh. Well, that's good for him, isn't it? Jesus Christ. What is this? This is amazing. Um, this is the land of 1,000 tactics, where I'm not seeing any of them. Really? What's this about? Just kidding. I only play the most legal moves. Yep. Um, wow, that's kind of a disaster. That's kind of a disaster. Um, yeah, there's no way out. Oh, that's no good. That was no good. Um, well, if I can escape forward, maybe it's okay. There's no forward escape. What's... Oh my gosh. Precise till the end. Well played. Whew! We were theorizing that was Arnold or somebody. I don't remember. Oh man, that's brutal. I had no chance that game, right? I had never a better position that entire game, I suspect. But yeah, oh hi there might like have. Well, this is a more standard time control with 30-second Yoyomi, so I would expect him to do better. Although, is he playing this event or is he just playing earlier today? Either way, it's good that he's playing well. Hmm. Man, that was rough. I think everybody was sitting around watching my game because there seemed to be. I mean, I don't see a game in progress there. Good luck. So, after that pairing, guess who we get next? If you guessed Z Kid, well, I don't know. You might be right. We'll find out. Yeah. It's funny. Dark Matter's a strong player, whoever the hell they are. Wait, it's my move, because they moved their king. Okay. Um, hmm. I defend my rook so I don't lose a million tempi here. Yeah. I mean, Dark Matter's got a perfect score. And if this were Z-Kid, we'd know by now. I would have lost the game already. So this isn't Z-Kid. Probably. I could be lost and not even aware of it. This bishop promotion is a bit scary. Um, See, this is why I didn't want to play this event. I'd be getting beaten up most of the event by the other participants. Um, Wait, I can trap this bishop. It's my only chance here. Let's see how I do. So I can push the pawn, push the silver, and retreat the silver to take the bishop. They have two pawns in here. Oh, fuck. Alright, thanks for the game. Next opponent. Oh, in my other chat? Do I have an... Oh, you mean in the game chat. Yeah, it could be. Um, so, that was cool. I'm sure if we were to study that game, we could learn some things. Um, oh, Z-Kid's paused anyway. Yeah. So, doesn't help. And Arnolf, if I remember right, was Fordon at this time? Is that right? Good luck. But yeah, it sucks getting blown off the board in the opening. It doubly sucks that I don't have time to think about my moves. So, like, there's nothing I can do. Um, other than just keep playing and hope for the best. I've played this before. Isn't this okay for Gote? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. No, I had a Shogi Wars game that went just like this. And I win a pawn. And my position's better. Yeah, this tournament time control... It's a bit different than your normal weekly ladder game. Maybe this is meant to be more casual or some other kind of spirit of event. I don't know. Lighthearted, I guess. But, how do I make progress here? I think I just... If I protect the knight, they drop... I end up losing the knight anyway. Um... I have one pawn in hand, and I'm afraid to use it. Cool. Yeah, let's unblock my rook and just forget this knight. Now that I have a bishop in hand, we'll return the bishop 5-5 fork idea with interest. Yeah, sometime soon it'd be fun for me to run my own kind of event. What was the latest Czech Shogi thing? What's the new variant that got introduced? Um, wait. Preemptively trying to prevent this fork. It makes some sense. Yeah, fine. I'll waste a turn defending my silver. Oh, my wasted turn doesn't even work? That's news to me. Okay, I keep my bishop on this diagonal. Just gonna take a piece. Hopefully later I'll find some use for that piece. Well, it does let me drop a rook in this camp. I don't see how the rook does much, but it looks cool. Okay. Can put a rook here now instead. So, I've invaded. This is progress. I do want to bring this silver up and break this shape somehow. But, yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah, the other game you were suggesting that one opponent, that dark matter might be oh hi there, Shogi Dad. Like, it took me a minute to register that that was even a suggestion, since, like, there's a difference in skill there. I thought, well, maybe he is actually suggesting this, but probably as a joke. Um, and then I thought, well, maybe the joke is that comparatively he's doing better in the standings or something, because this joke doesn't make sense. Wait, knight drop, gold takes. I don't have mate. Oh my goodness. Why do we have to fight tooth and nail for every pawn on this board? Okay, my opponent won material. Yay. Ah, this is their point. It's not just about the material. But now I've got two silvers, a rook, another rook, etc., all bearing down in that direction. Do I really need to take the pawn? It's super lame if I have to take it to, yeah, for my position to succeed here. Why can I only win by taking things? I never get good attacks. If I take it, they just drop more pawns. The cycle continues. We're just going to attack and hope that it works. Because I have no time to think about whether this works or not. We're just going to assume it works. Okay. Are you going to defend with another piece? Make this even harder for me? Yeah, I guess that counts. What's your plan here? My plan's pretty obvious. What's yours? Hmm. It looks like their plan is wait for me to blunder. Oh, look at that. How long did we have to wait for that? Wait, this is check. I forgot my horse was defending 5-5. Thankfully, I live here. Hmm. Alright, well, we found a pattern. Thanks for the game. Good luck. Wait. I'm still playing this. Yeah, let's play that. Why not? Castle? Question mark? Okay. Got a bad feeling about this. Um, Hmm. Of course, now they pause. Suspense. Horrible. Horrible. Horrifying. Both of the above. Um. Pawn takes. That's. I can't count. I cannot count to save my butt. Um. My bishop's overburdened. Thankfully, my opponent didn't drop a pawn on my bishop's head, so I was able to proceed this way. I messed up. Promoting this was not my best move. I should have done lance drop over here and taken a lance. Maybe not. Maybe not. Either way, I'll take the lance this time. Oh, but my opponent has counterplay. Um, right, here we go. Let's see it. Hmm. Yes, that makes sense. Um, What a mess. My position looks okay, somehow. Um, not a fan of this. What to do? Advancing my rook just makes it a bigger target. Shogi is hard. Wait, no. No, I haven't been missing a simple tactic this whole time. At least not that I currently see. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Overall, I'm doing far better than I expected. Um, I have had a couple pretty crushing losses, but we'll get over it somehow. I just don't see it. There's something there and I just don't see it. I don't know what's happening here. I keep thinking surely I have mate, and I just cannot spot a checkmate to save my lass at all. Um, this is the game that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started playing it not knowing what it was, and then they kept on playing it forever just because this is the game that never ends. I forgot to take the gold the other turn, so I end up losing material here. If I just remembered to take the gold, this would have been a lot better. Bishop takes silver, looks winning. Okay, that's... I don't even know anymore where we are. Um, it's something. What? What? Oh, that wasn't mate. Maybe we're seeing if we can test the maximum move count on Lee Shogi. Maybe that's the meaning of this game. We sure are testing the system. Never before have I seen such a thorough test of how many moves this website will accept. Maybe I should look at more games. It is somewhat unbelievable to me how this king can escape no matter what I can throw at it. Even for Shogi, this is something. Thanks for the game. Holy crap! That was an adventure. Well, looks like we have time for another game. Do I have the energy for it? I severely doubt it, but we'll see. I'd not be offended if I don't get another pairing. Not in the slightest. Yeah, let's pause and go watch this game play out. Alright, so... Magic Based is playing Gota here. That's pretty cool. Thank you. I am not in my best shape at the moment. I need to practice more. We'll look at it. I'll make a video out of this, and we'll look at this later. Or rather, after the video. Which is kind of against our whole weekly ladder spirit, but I'm kind of at wit's end after that one. There's way too many things that happen in that game that I do not understand. Alright, so this silver drop unfortunately falls to Knight Takes. Unless I missed some critical sequence here. But yeah, we can sit back and enjoy the remainder of this arena, as I am not prepared to play another game after that one. Um, 3-2 silver. Ah, yeah, I see Lily is curious about who is playing as Dark Matter. Dark Matter had an extraordinary performance. Um, that said, everybody else hopefully enjoyed their games and is able to learn some things from their games too. Um, hmm. Well, seems there's no game currently in progress. Should I look up? Oh, there's one more. This won't finish within the 5 minutes, 4 minutes remaining in the event, but we can spectate some of it. Um, so Onrolf is playing against Magic Based. This could finish it. It's a bit of a special pairing. Most of us are sitting out and watching at this point. I forget if the weekly ladder is like 15:30 by default on 81 Dojo. Not that I think that 5:30 is tremendously different. Um, I was just trying to remember if it was with the 60-second Byoyomi, because that could partially explain, like, at least in that ladder, I have some chance of finding mates. But I think what happened in my game um, with my most recent opponent is that they are just a very skilled player, and they put up an incredible fight, the likes of which I have never seen before in my games. Well, no, that's not true. I apologize. Um, but the likes of which I've rarely seen. Um, yeah, I had to backtrack trying to remember every game I've ever played. And yeah, some of the best games I've played have been the handicap games that Lexi offered. uh, so, um, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've played against such a strong opponent. It's just leave me so baffled as to why I struggled so badly. Hmm. Well, I don't see this Ducklegs castle as winning in the next 1 minute and 20 seconds. This castle shape is not known for it. Well, maybe it is known for quick attacks. I'm not sure. But I don't see a mate here, despite a really nice initiative. Of course, I see an idea, but I don't think the idea is the same thing as a mate. I wonder why that instead of moving the lance. Hmm. Actually, I guess this makes sense. If we see, like, knight takes lance, then um, then the knight in the corner is never going to see the light of day again. And in this variation, now we can move the lance. Well, don't need to. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I could swear there were some mating possibilities somewhere in there, but for whatever reason, our incredibly strong opponent is holding back because they don't see, well, like what they do spot isn't mate if the opponent defends properly. All right, let's take a look back at the tournament page. Yay! Yeah, congratulations to Lily and Gerardiv for their strong performance. I'm quite curious who Dark Matter is. Playing with them was still an interesting experience. Yeah, hopefully we all enjoyed this. 3 hours, some remarked, is a bit long. It'd be nice if our community held more frequent events that were, I don't know. I don't need to bash the tournament. It was a good tournament. Yep. Thanks for watching. See you next time.